Welcome to episode 71 of the Peak Performance Podcast by Brad Young. Today, we're diving deep into the ancient wisdom of our ancestors to unlock modern peak performance. For thousands of years, our prehistoric predecessors lived, moved, and thrived in ways that shaped the very DNA we carry today. They didn't have gyms, supplements, or training programs, yet they possessed remarkable strength, endurance, and mental resilience. Their survival depended on it. In this episode, we'll explore how you can tap into this ancestral blueprint to transform your physical and mental performance. We'll break down body types, examine caveman style workouts tailored to your unique physiology, and discover how our ancestors' diets can revolutionize your modern nutrition. Whether you have access to a full gym or just your body weight and a few basic tools, you'll learn practical strategies to train like a warrior and eat like a hunter gatherer. Let's journey back in time to move forward in performance. The ancestral movement paradigm. Our ancestors didn't exercise, they moved to survive. Every day presented physical challenges that demanded strength, speed, endurance, and agility. They climbed trees to escape predators, carried heavy game across miles of terrain, sprinted to chase down prey, and crawled through dense vegetation. This constant, varied movement created bodies that were functionally strong, metabolically efficient, and remarkably resilient. Modern humans have lost this movement diversity. We sit for hours, perform repetitive motions, and often train in isolated, unnatural patterns. The result, bodies that are strong in some areas but weak in others, prone to injury and disconnected from their natural capabilities. Ancestral fitness isn't about mimicking cavemen exactly. It's about understanding the movement principles that shaped human physiology and applying them to modern life. The key principles include natural full body movements, functional strength that translates to real world tasks, varied intensity from low level activity to explosive bursts, outdoor exposure to natural elements, and minimal equipment reliance. When we align our training with these ancestral patterns, we don't just build muscle. We build resilient, capable bodies designed for peak performance in any situation. Our ancestors were the ultimate functional athletes, and their movement wisdom holds the key to unlocking our genetic potential. Understanding your body type, the three ancestral archetypes. Just as prehistoric tribes had different physical builds suited to their environments and roles, modern humans fall into three primary body types, or somatotypes. Understanding your body type is crucial because it determines how you respond to training, what movements come naturally, and how you should structure your ancestral fitness program. These classifications aren't rigid boxes, but rather a spectrum that helps guide your training approach. The three body types are ectomorph, mesomorph, and endomorph. Ectomorphs are naturally lean with narrow frames, fast metabolisms, and difficulty building muscle. Think of the swift, endurance focused hunters who could track game for days. Mesomorphs have athletic, muscular builds with broad shoulders and efficient metabolisms. The warriors and heavy game hunters who combine strength with speed. Endomorphs carry more body fat naturally with wider frames and slower metabolisms. The gatherers and cold climate survivors whose bodies efficiently stored energy for lean times. Most people are a combination of two types, with one dominant. Identifying your primary type helps you choose the right ancestral training style. Ectomorphs thrive with strength-focused, lower volume training. Mesomorphs excel with varied, high-intensity work. Endomorphs benefit from higher volume metabolic conditioning. In the following sections, we'll break down specific caveman-style workouts for each body type, ensuring you train in harmony with your genetic blueprint rather than against it. Ectomorph. Lean, narrow frame, fast metabolism, the endurance hunter archetype. Mesomorph. Athletic muscular build, the warrior and power hunter archetype. Endomorph. Wider frame, efficient energy storage, the gatherer and survivor archetype. Ectomorph training, the swift hunter protocol. If you're an ectomorph, your ancestors were likely the persistence hunters, lean, efficient runners who could track prey for hours or even days. Your body is built for endurance and speed, but building and maintaining muscle requires strategic effort. The key is focusing on compound strength building movements with adequate recovery, avoiding the trap of excessive cardio that can further deplete your frame. Your ancestral training should emphasize heavy functional lifts that mimic survival tasks, carrying, lifting, pulling, and pushing. Think about dragging a deer carcass, climbing a cliff face, or lifting heavy stones. You need lower training volume but higher intensity with plenty of rest between sessions to allow muscle growth. Your fast metabolism means you burn through energy quickly, so training sessions should be efficient and focused rather than long and exhausting. Incorporate movements like deadlifts, simulating lifting heavy game, pull ups, climbing trees and cliffs, overhead presses, lifting objects overhead, farmers' carries, transporting resources, and deep squats, gathering and lifting from ground level. Train 3 to 4 days per week with full rest days between. Each session should last 45 to 60 minutes maximum. Focus on progressive overload, gradually increasing weight or difficulty rather than adding more volume. Your body type thrives on quality over quantity, building dense functional strength that serves real-world performance. Mesomorph training, the warrior's regimen. Mesomorphs are the genetic lottery winners when it comes to athletic performance. Your body type mirrors the prehistoric warriors and elite hunters, naturally muscular, strong, and responsive to training. You build muscle easily, recover quickly, and can handle high training volumes. Your ancestors were the ones who could both sprint after prey and carry it home, combining explosive power with endurance. This versatility is your greatest asset. Your training should embrace variety and intensity. You can handle frequent training sessions, mixing strength work, power development, and metabolic conditioning. Think of the diverse physical demands your ancestors faced. One day requiring a long hunt, the next defending territory in combat, the next building shelter. Your body thrives on this variation, and you risk plateaus if you stick to repetitive routines. Structure your week with 4 to 5 training days incorporating different movement patterns. Include heavy strength days with exercises like weighted carries, stone lifting, and ground to overhead movements. Add explosive power sessions with sprints, jumps, and throws. Incorporate skill-based movement like crawling, climbing, and balancing. Your recovery is efficient, so you can train more frequently than other body types. However, still prioritize 1 to 2 full rest days weekly. Your ancestral advantage is versatility. Use it. Rotate through different training focuses every few weeks to continually challenge your body and prevent adaptation. This mirrors the unpredictable physical demands your warrior ancestors face daily. Strength days. Heavy carries, lifts, ground to overhead movements. Power days. Sprints, jumps, explosive throws. Skill days. Crawling, climbing, balance work. Endomorph training, the survivor's strength. Endomorphs carry the genetics of survivors, ancestors who thrived in harsh climates and unpredictable food availability. Your body efficiently stores energy, which was a massive advantage when food was scarce. In modern times, this means you need to be strategic about training to maintain leanness while building strength. Your ancestors were the powerful gatherers and cold climate hunters who could work steadily for hours and possessed incredible raw strength. Your training should emphasize metabolic conditioning and higher volume work. While you can build impressive strength, your primary focus should be movements that elevate heart rate and burn energy while maintaining muscle. Think of the constant varied activity of gathering, walking miles, bending repeatedly, carrying loads, digging and processing food. This steady state work with periodic intensity spikes is your ancestral blueprint. Structure training around circuit-style workouts that combine strength and conditioning. Perform exercises back to back with minimal rest, keeping your heart rate elevated throughout the session. Include movements like sled pushes or drags, battle rope waves, kettlebell swings, burpees, and loaded carries. Train 5 to 6 days per week with shorter, more frequent sessions rather than long, infrequent ones. Each session should be 30 to 45 minutes of continuous work. Your body responds well to consistency and volume. Additionally, incorporate daily low intensity movement like walking or hiking. Your ancestors moved constantly at a sustainable pace. This combination of metabolic training and steady movement helps you maintain the lean, powerful physique of your survivor ancestors. Caveman workout for power development. Power, the ability to generate maximum force in minimum time, was essential for ancestral survival. Throwing spears, leaping across obstacles, wrestling prey or predators, and explosive sprinting all required tremendous power output. This workout focuses on developing explosive strength using minimal equipment, mimicking the sudden, intense efforts our ancestors regularly performed. Power training builds fast twitch muscle fibers, improves athletic performance, and creates the explosive capability needed for peak physical performance. This workout requires only your body weight and optionally a heavy rock or log. Perform each exercise explosively with maximum intent. The goal isn't endurance, it's maximum power output in each repetition. Rest fully between sets to maintain quality. This mirrors how our ancestors would have brief, intense physical encounters followed by recovery periods. The power protocol. Begin with a thorough warm up of joint rotations and dynamic stretching. Then perform broad jumps, 5 sets of 3 reps. Explode forward as far as possible. Rest 90 seconds between sets. Clapping push ups, 5 sets of 5 reps. Explode up with enough force to clap. Rest 90 seconds. Box jumps or rock jumps, 5 sets of 3 reps. Jump onto elevated surface, step down, rest 2 minutes. Overhead stone throws, 4 sets of 5 reps. Throw heavy object overhead for distance, rest 2 minutes. And sprint starts, 6 sets of 20-meter sprints. Explode from ground position, rest 2 minutes. Finish with light movement to cool down. Perform this workout once or twice weekly with at least 3 days between sessions. Power training is neurologically demanding and requires full recovery. Caveman workout for speed development. Speed determined whether our ancestors ate or starved, escaped danger, or perished. The ability to sprint explosively was perhaps the most critical survival skill. This workout develops maximum velocity and acceleration using ancestral movement patterns. Speed isn't just about leg strength, it requires full body coordination, powerful arm drive, and efficient mechanics. Our ancestors were natural sprinters, and this genetic capability still exists within you, waiting to be unlocked through proper training. This protocol requires only open space and optionally some markers for distance. The key is maximum effort with complete recovery. Never train speed when fatigued. Quality trumps quantity. Each sprint should be performed at 95 to 100% effort with full recovery between repetitions. This mimics the all-out chases and escapes our ancestors experienced, followed by rest periods. The speed protocol. Warm up thoroughly with dynamic leg swings, high knees, butt kicks, and progressive build-up sprints. Then perform hill sprints, 6 sets of 30-meter uphill sprints. Maximum effort, walk down for recovery, rest 3 minutes between. Flying sprints, 5 sets of 40 meters, jog. 20 meters, then sprint maximally for 40 meters, rest 4 minutes. Resistance sprints, 4 sets of 20 meters. Sprint while dragging resistance or running uphill, rest 3 minutes. Acceleration starts, 8 sets of 10-meter explosive starts from various positions, standing, crouching, lying down, rest 2 minutes. And tempo runs, 3 sets of 100 meters at 70% effort, focus on form and rhythm, rest 2 minutes. Cool down with easy jogging and stretching. Perform this workout twice weekly with at least 2 days between sessions. Speed work is highly neurological and demands fresh legs. Caveman workout for flexibility and mobility. Our ancestors possessed remarkable flexibility and mobility, squatting deeply to rest, reaching overhead to gather fruit, twisting to throw spears, and moving through varied terrain. Modern sedentary lifestyles have robbed us of this natural range of motion, leading to pain, injury, and limited performance. This workout restores ancestral movement capacity through ground-based patterns, deep positions, and natural stretching that our bodies are designed to perform. This session requires only your body weight and floor space. Unlike modern static stretching, ancestral mobility work is active and dynamic, moving through positions rather than holding them passively. Our ancestors didn't stretch, they simply moved through full ranges of motion regularly throughout the day. This workout replicates that natural movement diversity. The mobility protocol: perform each movement slowly and deliberately, breathing deeply throughout. Deep squat hold, 3 sets of 2 minutes. Sit in full squat, feet flat, working toward comfortable rest position. Crawling patterns: 5 minutes forward, backward, and lateral crawling on the hands and feet. Hip circles, 3 sets of 10. Each direction on hands and knees, make large circles with hips. Thoracic rotations, 3 sets of 10 each side on hands and knees. Rotate upper body while keeping hips stable. Shoulder dislocations with stick, 3 sets of 15. Hold stick wide, rotate arms overhead and behind back. Deep lunge holds, 3 sets of 90 seconds each side. Front knee bent, back knee down, sink hips forward. And ground flow, 10 minutes. Continuously transition between positions: squat, lunge, plank, side plank, bridge, child's pose. Finish with gentle shaking of all limbs. Perform this workout 3 to 4 times, weekly or daily, for best results. Mobility work aids recovery and can be done on rest days. Caveman workout for athletic performance. True athletic performance requires a blend of strength, power, speed, endurance, and coordination, exactly what our ancestors needed to survive. This workout combines multiple physical qualities in one session, developing the well rounded capability that characterized prehistoric humans. They weren't specialists, they were generalists who could perform any physical task demanded by their environment. This workout builds that same comprehensive athleticism using minimal equipment and natural movement patterns. This protocol can be performed with body weight alone or enhanced with basic tools like rocks, logs, or a rope. The workout structure mimics a day in ancestral life: varied challenges requiring different physical qualities performed with intensity and purpose. You'll move through strength, power, endurance, and skill based challenges in one comprehensive session. The athletic protocol: warm up with 5 minutes of varied movement: jogging, skipping, crawling, and jumping. Then perform as a circuit, completing all exercises before resting 3 minutes. Repeat for 4 total rounds. Heavy carries, 50 meters. Carry heavy object overhead at chest or farmer style. Burpee broad jumps, 10 reps. Burpee then broad jump forward. Pull ups or inverted rows, 10 reps. We'll use tree branch or low bar. Sprint, 50 meters at 80% effort. Stone or log lifts, 10 reps. Ground to shoulder. Bear crawl, 30 meters forward and backward. And jump squats, 15 reps. Explosive jump from squat position. After completing 4 rounds, finish with 10 minutes of steady pace running or hiking. This workout develops the complete athletic package: strength, power, endurance, and movement skill in under an hour. Perform twice weekly with at least 2 days between sessions for recovery. Heavy carries, 50 meters with heavy object. Burpee broad jumps, 10 explosive repetitions. Pull ups, 10 reps on branch or bar. Sprint, 50 meters at 80% effort. Stone lifts, 10 ground to shoulder reps. Bear crawl, 30 meters both directions. Minimal equipment training, the essentials. Our ancestors had no equipment beyond what nature provided: rocks, logs, their own body weight, and the terrain itself. This limitation forced creativity and developed functional transferable strength. Modern fitness often relies on machines and specialized equipment, but peak performance can be achieved with almost nothing. In fact, training with minimal equipment often produces superior results because it requires greater stabilization, coordination, and full body integration. The essential tools for ancestral training are your body weight, the most versatile tool available; heavy rocks or stones for lifting, carrying, and throwing; logs or branches for carrying, pressing, and dragging; a sturdy tree branch or bar for pulling movements; hills or stairs for resistance and power development; and open ground for sprinting, crawling, and ground-based movement. With just these basic elements, you can develop complete physical capability. The beauty of minimal equipment training is its accessibility and functionality. You can train anywhere: parks, forests, beaches, or your backyard. The movements you perform translate directly to real world strength and capability. When you can lift a heavy rock, you can lift anything. When you can sprint up a hill, you have true power. When you can hang from a branch and pull yourself up, you possess practical strength. This is the essence of ancestral fitness, building capability that serves life, not just the gym. Our ancestors didn't train for aesthetics or sport, they trained for survival. That functional approach creates bodies that are not only strong, but resilient, mobile, and truly capable in any physical situation. The ancestral diet, what our ancestors actually ate. Understanding what our ancestors ate is crucial for peak performance because their diet shaped our genetics, metabolism, and nutritional needs. For over 2 million years, humans evolved eating a dramatically different diet than what most people consume today. Our ancestors were hunter gatherers who ate what they could hunt, fish, gather, and forage. Their diet was nutrient dense, varied by season and geography, and completely free of processed foods, refined sugars, and industrial seed oils. The ancestral diet consisted primarily of wild game and fish, rich in protein and healthy fats, organ meats, the most nutrient dense foods available, eggs from wild birds, seasonal vegetables and tubers, roots like wild carrots and turnips, fruits and berries only when in season, nuts and seeds, and occasionally honey. What they didn't eat is equally important. No grains or legumes. Agriculture didn't exist. No dairy until animal domestication. No processed foods, no refined sugars, and no vegetable or seed oils. Their food was whole, unprocessed, and nutrient dense. This diet provided everything needed for peak physical and mental performance. High quality protein built and maintained muscle. Healthy fats from animals and fish supported brain function, hormone production, and sustained energy. Seasonal vegetables and fruits provided vitamins, minerals, and fiber. The absence of processed foods meant stable blood sugar, reduced inflammation, and optimal metabolic function. Our ancestors didn't count calories or macros. They simply ate real food when available and fasted when it wasn't. This eating pattern created lean, strong, mentally sharp humans who could perform incredible physical feats. In the following sections, we'll explore how to adapt this ancestral wisdom to modern eating. Modern diet versus ancestral diet, a critical comparison. The contrast between modern and ancestral diets is stark and explains much of today's health and performance crisis. The modern Western diet is characterized by processed foods, refined carbohydrates, industrial seed oils, excessive sugar, and nutrient poor calories. Meanwhile, the ancestral diet consisted of whole foods, quality proteins, natural fats, and nutrient density. Understanding these differences is essential for anyone seeking peak performance. Modern diets are calorie rich but nutrient poor. People consume thousands of calories from processed foods that provide energy but lack the vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients needed for optimal function. Ancestral diets were the opposite. Every calorie came packed with nutrition. A serving of organ meat provides more nutrients than an entire day of modern processed food. Modern diets are inflammatory, loaded with omega 6 fatty acids from seed oils, trans fats, and refined sugars that promote chronic inflammation. Ancestral diets were anti inflammatory, rich in omega 3 fats from wild fish and game, and completely free of inflammatory processed ingredients. The metabolic effects are profound. Modern diets create blood sugar roller coasters, spikes and crashes that lead to energy fluctuations, cravings, and eventually insulin resistance. Ancestral diets provided stable energy through protein, fat, and fiber rich carbohydrates that digested slowly. Modern diets are addictive by design, engineered to override satiety signals and promote overconsumption. Ancestral diets were naturally satiating. High protein and fat content triggered fullness signals, preventing overeating. The result: modern humans are simultaneously overfed and undernourished, while our ancestors were lean, strong, and metabolically healthy despite periods of food scarcity. To achieve peak performance, we must bridge this gap by adopting ancestral eating principles in our modern context. Modern diet. Processed foods, refined carbs, seed oils, excessive sugar, inflammatory blood sugar spikes, nutrient poor. Ancestral diet, whole foods, quality protein, natural fats, anti inflammatory, stable energy, nutrient dense. Daily survival, the physical demands of ancestral life. Our ancestors didn't go to the gym, their entire existence was a workout. Every single day presented physical challenges that would exhaust most modern humans. Understanding the intensity and variety of ancestral daily life helps us appreciate why they were so physically capable and how we can replicate those demands in our training. Their survival literally depended on physical performance, creating a powerful evolutionary pressure that shaped human physiology. A typical day for a hunter gatherer involved walking or hiking 5 to 10 miles while foraging, carrying loads of gathered food or water, often 30 to 50 pounds, tracking and hunting game requiring bursts of sprinting and sustained jogging, butchering animals and processing food, squatting, bending, cutting, building or maintaining shelter, lifting, carrying, digging, defending against predators or rival groups, fighting, fleeing, and climbing trees or cliffs to gather food or escape danger. This wasn't exercise, it was life. The physical demands were constant, varied, and performed at different intensities throughout the day. The mental demands were equally intense. Constant vigilance for threats, problem solving for food acquisition, navigation across vast territories, and social dynamics within the tribe all required sharp cognitive function. Physical and mental performance were inseparable. A weak body meant death, and a dull mind meant starvation. This integrated demand for peak physical and mental performance simultaneously is what shaped human evolution. Modern life has removed these pressures, but our genetics still expect them. By reintroducing varied physical challenges, outdoor exposure, and purposeful movement into our lives, we can activate the same genetic programs that created peak performers in our ancestors. The modern ancestral diet, practical implementation. Translating ancestral eating principles to modern life doesn't mean eating only wild game and foraged plants. It means understanding the principles behind ancestral nutrition and applying them using available foods. The goal is to eat in a way that honors your genetic blueprint while being practical and sustainable in the 21st century. This approach focuses on food quality, nutrient density, and eliminating modern inflammatory foods that our bodies aren't designed to process. The foundation of a modern ancestral diet includes high quality animal proteins, grass fed beef, wild caught fish, pasture raised poultry and eggs, organ meats when possible. Healthy fats, olive oil, coconut oil, avocados, nuts, fatty fish, abundant vegetables, especially leafy greens and cruciferous vegetables, moderate fruits, focusing on berries and seasonal options, starchy tubers, sweet potatoes, regular potatoes, cassava, and minimal processed foods. What to eliminate or minimize? Grains and legumes, especially wheat and soy. Dairy, optional, some people tolerate it well. All processed foods and refined sugars, seed oils, canola, soybean, corn, vegetable oil, and artificial ingredients. Meal structure should mimic ancestral eating patterns. Our ancestors didn't eat 3 square meals plus snacks. They ate when food was available, sometimes feasting, sometimes fasting. A practical modern approach is 2 to 3 meals daily without snacking, allowing 12 to 16 hours between dinner and breakfast, intermittent fasting, eating until satisfied but not stuffed, and occasionally incorporating longer fasts, 24 hours, to mimic periods of food scarcity. This eating pattern improves insulin sensitivity, promotes fat burning, and enhances mental clarity. All benefits our ancestors experienced naturally. The key is consistency with flexibility, making ancestral eating a lifestyle rather than a rigid diet. Sample ancestral meal plan, a day of eating. Putting ancestral eating principles into practice requires concrete examples. This sample meal plan demonstrates how to structure a day of eating that honors ancestral nutrition while being practical for modern life. The meals are nutrient dense, satisfying, and designed to fuel peak performance. Adjust portions based on your body size, activity level, and goals, but maintain the quality and composition principles. Morning, breaking fast. Start your day 12 to 16 hours after your last meal. First meal around 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. 3 to 4 pasture raised eggs cooked in coconut oil or grass fed butter. Large serving of sauteed vegetables, spinach, peppers, onions, mushrooms. Half an avocado, an optional sweet potato hash. Drink water or black coffee. This meal provides high quality protein, healthy fats, and nutrient dense vegetables to start your day with stable energy and no blood sugar crash. Afternoon, Dutch evening. Main meal around 4 to 6 p.m. 6 to 8 ounces of wild caught salmon or grass fed beef. Large mixed green salad with olive oil and lemon dressing. Roasted vegetables, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, carrots, and small serving of berries with a handful of nuts. This meal delivers complete nutrition, protein for muscle maintenance, omega-3 fats for brain function, fiber and phytonutrients from vegetables, and antioxidants from berries. Optional third meal or snack, if needed based on activity level, handful of mixed nuts and an apple or leftover protein with vegetables. Keep it simple and whole food based. Hydration. Drink water throughout the day, aiming for half your body weight in ounces. Add a pinch of sea salt to water for electrolytes. Avoid sugary drinks, diet sodas, and excessive caffeine. This eating pattern provides all necessary nutrients, maintains stable energy, supports training recovery, and promotes optimal body composition without calorie counting or complex meal planning. 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Break fast with eggs, vegetables, avocado, optional sweet potato. 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Main meal with quality protein, large salad, roasted vegetables, berries. Optional. Light snack if needed, nuts and fruit or leftover protein. Protein, the foundation of ancestral nutrition. Protein was the cornerstone of ancestral diets and remains the most important macronutrient for peak performance. Our ancestors prioritized protein above all else because it was essential for survival, building and maintaining muscle, supporting immune function, providing sustained energy, and enabling the physical demands of daily life. Modern diets often underprioritize protein in favor of carbohydrates, leading to muscle loss, increased hunger, and suboptimal performance. Ancestral protein sources were diverse and nutrient dense. Large game animals, deer, bison, wild boar, small game, rabbits, birds, fish and seafood, salmon, shellfish, sardines, and organ meats, liver, heart, kidney, the most prized foods. These sources provided not just protein, but also essential fats, vitamins, and minerals. Modern equivalents include grass-fed beef, wild-caught fish, pasture-raised poultry and eggs, and organ meats when available. The quality of protein matters. Animals raised on their natural diets provide superior nutrition compared to factory-farmed alternatives. For peak performance, aim for 0.7 to 1.0 grams of protein per pound of body weight daily. A 180-pound person should consume 125 to 180 grams of protein. Distribute this across 2 to 3 meals rather than trying to consume it all at once. Prioritize protein at every meal. It should be the foundation of your plate. Include organ meats weekly if possible. Liver is nature's multivitamin, providing more nutrients per calorie than any other food. Don't fear eating meat. Our ancestors thrived on animal foods, and so can you. The key is quality. Choose the best sources you can afford, prioritizing wild-caught, grass-fed, and pasture-raised options. Protein isn't just for building muscle. It's the foundation of every cell, hormone, and enzyme in your body. Fats, fuel for performance and brain function. Modern nutrition demonized fat for decades, but ancestral diets were rich in healthy fats, and our ancestors were lean, strong, and mentally sharp. Fat is essential for hormone production, brain function, vitamin absorption, and sustained energy. Our ancestors consumed approximately 30 to 50% of their calories from fat, primarily from animal sources. Understanding which fats to eat and which to avoid is crucial for peak performance. Healthy ancestral fats include Animal fats from grass fed and wild sources: tallow, lard, duck fat, fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines, rich in omega 3s, coconut oil and coconut products, olive oil cold pressed, extra virgin, avocados and avocado oil, nuts and seeds in moderation, and egg yolks from pasture raised chickens. These fats are anti inflammatory, support brain health, and provide stable energy without blood sugar spikes. They're also essential for absorbing fat soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K. Fats to avoid completely: industrial seed oils, canola, soybean, corn, cottonseed, safflower, sunflower, trans fats, partially hydrogenated oils, and heavily processed vegetable oils. These modern fats didn't exist in ancestral diets and are highly inflammatory, contributing to chronic disease and impaired performance. They're found in most processed foods, restaurant cooking, and packaged snacks. Read labels carefully and cook at home with traditional fats. Your brain is 60% fat. Feeding it quality fats versus inflammatory oils directly impacts cognitive function, mood, and mental performance. For peak performance, don't fear fat. Embrace it from quality sources while eliminating inflammatory modern oils. This single dietary change can dramatically improve energy, reduce inflammation, and enhance both physical and mental performance. Carbohydrates, seasonal and strategic. Carbohydrates in ancestral diets were dramatically different from modern carb consumption. Our ancestors didn't have year-round access to grains, sugars, or starchy foods. Carbohydrates came primarily from seasonal fruits, vegetables, and occasionally tubers or honey. This seasonal availability meant periods of higher carb intake, summer and fall, followed by lower carb periods, winter and spring. This natural variation kept metabolic flexibility, the ability to burn both fat and carbs for fuel, which is key to peak performance. Ancestral carbohydrate sources included seasonal fruits and berries, only available certain times of year, root vegetables and tubers, wild carrots, turnips, eventually cultivated sweet potatoes, fibrous vegetables, leafy greens, cruciferous vegetables, and occasionally honey, a rare prized food. What they didn't eat: grains, wheat, rice, corn. Agriculture is only 10,000 years old. Refined sugars, processed carbohydrates, or year-round fruit availability. The total carbohydrate intake varied dramatically by season and geography, from very low in winter to moderate in summer. For modern peak performance, adopt a strategic approach to carbohydrates. Base carb intake on activity level. Sedentary days require fewer carbs. Training days require more. Focus on quality sources: sweet potatoes, regular potatoes, squash, fruits, especially berries, and vegetables. Avoid grains and refined carbs entirely. They provide calories without significant nutrition and promote inflammation. Time carbohydrate intake around training. Consume most carbs post workout to replenish glycogen and support recovery. On rest days, reduce carbs and increase fat intake. This mimics ancestral eating patterns and maintains metabolic flexibility. You'll burn fat efficiently when carbs are low and perform intensely when carbs are available. This strategic approach optimizes body composition, energy levels, and performance far better than constant high carb consumption. Quality carb sources: sweet potatoes, squash, berries, fibrous vegetables, occasional honey. Avoid completely grains, refined sugars, processed carbs, year-round fruit excess. Strategic timing: higher carbs on training days, lower on rest days, post-workout focus. Intermittent fasting, the ancestral eating pattern. Our ancestors didn't eat 3 meals a day plus snacks. Food availability was unpredictable, sometimes abundant, sometimes scarce. This natural feast and famine pattern created metabolic adaptations that enhanced survival and performance. Intermittent fasting isn't a modern diet trend. It's a return to ancestral eating patterns that our bodies are genetically designed to handle. Incorporating strategic fasting periods can dramatically enhance physical and mental performance. The benefits of intermittent fasting mirror ancestral advantages. Improved insulin sensitivity and blood sugar control, enhanced fat burning and metabolic flexibility, increased growth hormone production, cellular cleanup through autophagy, removing damaged cells, improved mental clarity and focus, reduced inflammation, and simplified eating patterns. Our ancestors performed incredible physical feats while fasted. Hunting required peak performance before eating, not after. Fasting doesn't weaken you, it sharpens you when done correctly. Practical implementation for modern life. Start with a 12-hour overnight fast. Finish dinner by 7 p.m., break fast at 7 a.m. Progress to 14 to 16 hours. Finish dinner by 7 p.m., break fast at 9 to 11 a.m. This is the sweet spot for most people. Long enough for benefits, short enough to maintain easily. During the fasting window, consume only water, black coffee, or tea. Break your fast with a protein and fat-rich meal to maintain stable energy. Train in a fasted state occasionally to enhance fat adaptation. Our ancestors hunted while hungry. Once weekly, consider a 24-hour fast to deepen metabolic benefits. Listen to your body. If you're genuinely hungry, eat. If you're just bored or habituated to eating, wait. Intermittent fasting isn't about deprivation. It's about aligning eating patterns with your genetic blueprint for optimal performance. Micronutrients, the ancestral advantage. While macronutrients, protein, fat, carbs, provide energy, micronutrients, vitamins, and minerals enable every biological process in your body. Ancestral diets were extraordinarily rich in micronutrients because every calorie came from whole, unprocessed foods. Modern diets, despite being calorie abundant, are often micronutrient deficient due to processed foods, depleted soils, and poor food quality. This deficiency directly impairs performance, recovery, and health. Ancestral micronutrient sources were diverse and concentrated. Organ meats. Liver provides more nutrients than any other food: vitamin A, B vitamins, iron, copper, zinc. Bone broth, rich in minerals, collagen, and amino acids. Wild fish and seafood, omega 3s, iodine, selenium, zinc. Eggs, especially yolks, choline, vitamin D, B vitamins, and a wide variety of plants. Different colors provide different phytonutrients. Our ancestors ate nose to tail, consuming the entire animal, including the most nutrient-dense parts modern people discard. For peak performance, prioritize micronutrient density. Include organ meats weekly. Start with liver. Even small amounts provide massive nutrition. Make and consume bone broth regularly. Eat a rainbow of vegetables. Different colors equals different nutrients. Choose wild-caught fish over farmed. Select pasture-raised eggs with deep orange yolks and consider seasonal eating to maximize variety. Don't rely on supplements to fix a poor diet. Food first always, however. Certain supplements can fill gaps. Vitamin D, most people are deficient. Omega 3 fish oil, if not eating fatty fish regularly. And magnesium, depleted in modern soils. The ancestral approach to micronutrients is simple. Eat whole foods from quality sources, include organ meats, and maximize variety. This provides everything your body needs for peak performance without complex supplementation protocols. Hydration and electrolytes, the ancestral balance. Our ancestors didn't carry water bottles everywhere, yet they maintained optimal hydration through their diet and strategic water intake. Modern hydration advice often oversimplifies. Drink 8 glasses of water daily ignores individual needs, activity levels, and dietary factors. Ancestral hydration was more nuanced, balancing water intake with electrolyte consumption from whole foods. Understanding this balance is crucial for peak performance, especially during training. Ancestral hydration came from multiple sources: water from natural springs and rivers, moisture from fresh meat and fish. Animal foods are 60 to 70% water, water content in fruits and vegetables, and blood from fresh kills, rich in electrolytes. They consumed significantly more electrolytes than modern humans through mineral-rich water sources, sea salt or rock salt when available, and animal blood and organs. This high electrolyte intake balanced their water consumption and supported intense physical activity in varied climates. Modern hydration strategy for peak performance: drink water based on thirst, urine color, pale yellow is ideal, and activity level. A general guideline is half your body weight in ounces daily, but adjust based on training, climate, and sweat rate. Add a pinch of sea salt to water, especially before and after training. This provides sodium, which is crucial for hydration and performance. Don't overhydrate. Excessive water without electrolytes dilutes blood sodium and impairs performance. Include mineral rich foods, bone broth, seafood, leafy greens, and sea salt on food. Avoid sugary sports drinks. They're unnecessary if you're eating an ancestral diet rich in electrolytes. During intense training or hot weather, increase both water and salt intake proportionally. The ancestral approach to hydration is intuitive. Drink when thirsty, salt your food generously with quality sea salt, and consume water. Rich whole foods. This maintains optimal hydration without overthinking it. Recovery and rest, the forgotten performance factor. Modern fitness culture glorifies constant training and hustle, but our ancestors understood something crucial. Rest is when you get stronger. After intense physical demands, a long hunt, a fight, building shelter, they rested. They didn't train daily, they moved daily, but trained intensely only when necessary. This natural rhythm of stress and recovery created peak performers. Modern athletes often overtrain, under-recover, and wonder why performance plateaus. The ancestral approach to recovery is the missing piece in most training programs. Ancestral recovery practices included adequate sleep, sleeping with natural light cycles, 8 to 10 hours nightly, rest days after intense efforts, no concept of leg day, followed by arm day. Full rest meant full rest. Low intensity movement on recovery days, walking, gathering, light tasks. Social connection and community, stress relief through tribal bonds, and natural stress management, no chronic psychological stress like modern life. They also benefited from outdoor exposure, natural light cycles regulating circadian rhythms, and absence of artificial stimulation disrupting sleep. Modern recovery protocol for peak performance: prioritize sleep above all else. Aim for 8 to 9 hours nightly in a dark, cool room. Maintain consistent sleep and wake times, even on weekends. Include 1 to 2 complete rest days weekly with no structured training, only light movement like walking or stretching. Practice active recovery, easy movement, mobility work, or nature walks on rest days. Manage stress through meditation, breath work, or time in nature. Chronic stress destroys performance. Limit artificial light exposure at night. Use blue light blocking glasses or apps after sunset. Consider cold exposure, cold showers, ice baths, and heat exposure, sauna. For recovery benefits our ancestors experienced naturally. Remember, you don't get stronger during training, you get stronger during recovery. Training provides the stimulus, rest provides the adaptation. Honor this ancestral wisdom, and your performance will soar. Mental performance, the mind body connection. Ancestral life demanded peak mental performance as much as physical capability. Tracking animals required intense focus and pattern recognition. Navigating vast territories demanded spatial memory. Social dynamics within tribes required emotional intelligence. Survival decisions had immediate life or death consequences. This constant cognitive demand, combined with physical activity and proper nutrition, created sharp, resilient minds. Modern life has separated mental and physical performance, but the ancestral approach integrates them for peak capability in both domains. The ancestral lifestyle supported optimal brain function through regular physical activity. Exercise increases BDNF, a protein that grows new brain cells. Omega-3 rich diet, brain is 60% fat, needs quality fats to function. Intermittent fasting enhances mental clarity and focus. Problem-solving demands, constant challenges kept minds sharp. Social connection, tribal living provided purpose and belonging. Natural light exposure regulates circadian rhythms and mood. An absence of chronic stress. Acute stress was common but resolved quickly, unlike modern chronic stress. Modern strategies to enhance mental performance using ancestral principles. Exercise regularly, especially in the morning. Physical activity is the single best thing for brain health. Eat a brain healthy diet rich in omega 3s from fatty fish, quality fats, and minimal processed foods. Practice intermittent fasting for enhanced focus and clarity. Challenge your mind with novel problems, learning new skills, or navigating without GPS. Spend time in nature. Studies show nature exposure reduces mental fatigue and improves cognitive function. Maintain strong social connections and community involvement. Get morning sunlight exposure to regulate circadian rhythms and improve mood. Practice mindfulness or meditation to manage stress. Limit screen time and digital overstimulation. The ancestral approach to mental performance recognizes that mind and body are inseparable. Train both, fuel both, and rest both. Peak mental performance isn't achieved through brain games alone. It requires the integrated approach our ancestors lived daily. Bringing it all together, your ancestral performance blueprint. We've journeyed through the principles of ancestral fitness and nutrition, exploring how our prehistoric ancestors achieved peak physical and mental performance through their daily lives. Now it's time to integrate these lessons into a practical, sustainable approach for modern life. You don't need to live in a cave or hunt your dinner to benefit from ancestral wisdom. You simply need to align your training, eating, and lifestyle with the genetic blueprint that shaped human evolution over millions of years. Your ancestral performance blueprint includes training that emphasizes natural functional movements with varied intensity, strength, power, speed, mobility, and endurance. Developed through bodyweight exercises, minimal equipment, and outdoor activity. Nutrition based on whole, unprocessed foods, quality protein, healthy fats, strategic carbohydrates, and abundant micronutrients from diverse sources. Eating patterns that include intermittent fasting and meal timing aligned with activity levels. Recovery that prioritizes sleep, rest days, stress management, and the understanding that adaptation happens during rest, not training. Lifestyle factors, including outdoor exposure, natural light, social connection, and purposeful movement throughout the day. Start where you are. You don't need to implement everything at once. Begin with one area, perhaps cleaning up your diet by eliminating processed foods and seed oils. Add ancestral movement patterns to your training. Incorporate intermittent fasting gradually. Prioritize sleep and recovery. Each small change compounds over time, moving you closer to the peak performance your ancestors embodied. Remember, they didn't have supplements, fancy equipment, or complex programs. They had whole foods, natural movement, and the daily demands of survival. By returning to these fundamental principles, you can unlock the genetic potential that exists within you, the same potential that allowed your ancestors to thrive in challenging environments and perform incredible physical and mental feats. Your journey to peak performance starts with honoring the wisdom of those who came before. Train like a warrior, eat like a hunter gatherer, and live with purpose. This is the ancestral path to peak performance. Train naturally, functional movements, varied intensity, minimal equipment. Eat whole foods, quality protein, healthy fats, strategic carbs, nutrient density. Prioritize recovery, sleep, rest days, stress management, adaptation time. Live naturally. Outdoor exposure, natural light, social connection, purposeful movement.